everybody. Welcome back. It's Word Balloon on a Friday night. Good to see everyone. The Come Up with Conversation show. John Suntress here, and look who's raising the roof. It's Fred Van Lente.
Hey, John. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I really appreciate this. This is our third or fourth trivia night. It's our third. And yeah, man, every month you've been popping on and being a great quizmaster and getting us all. We're all playing on one team, everybody.
That's right. And I've been calling the Peanut Gallery, but there is an official name for your fan base, right?
That's true. It's the League of Word Balloon Listeners.
The League of Word Balloon Listeners. I love it.
So yes, we're all in our secret headquarters, but we've gathered kind of like at the Watchtower or at Happy Harbor.
Or the upside down rocket ship.
Legion. Right? Love that. I love that rocket ship. I absolutely adore that thing. Cracks me up.
Yeah, I love that. I always it's like sort of like if the Legion of Rednecks had like a broken down RV. They're very needed. Sure, it's an upside down. Why not? It's a crash spaceship. Sure.
You're right. It's like a car, an abandoned car on the lawn or whatever. It's
like on cinder blocks.
Yeah,
the spaceship.
I'll get to it. I'll fix it someday. Too funny, man. I've been watching American Pickers. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's fantastic.
Excellent.
Jeez, how's Crystal?
She's great. I'm gonna have to close the door at some point. I have my enhanced internet. I now have landline internet. I'm very excited. So
congratulations.
I'm in TV writing class right now. So
that's excellent, man. I was going to tell her if she ever turns to audio drama, I'm ready, Mr. DeMille.
Oh, and that's a good point. Well, funny you should bring up audio drama. At the end of the month, we're very excited. Our play King Kirby about the life of Jack Kirby, who's 100, I think, third birthday was about 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Is going to be an audio drama that's going to be released from podcasting at the end of the month, and it'll be on Spotify and iTunes and the whole nine yards. I'll make sure.
That's amazing, dude. Please and seriously, let's the three of us get Crystal on too, and let's talk about it.
That's a great. Yeah. Let's absolutely do that. I'm going to make note of that.
No, that'd be great, man. Absolutely, 100%. Well, that's the thing. Seriously, Fred, you're like
we're doing all Kirby round. That'll be fun.
Well, and I appreciate you coming on and doing the trivia, but I want to, if I can help you out in any way, you know that I always appreciate it. And yeah, man, I mean, hell, we've been talking about Action Presidents this year.
That's right. On September 22nd, out is the comic book History of Basketball from Random House, written by me, great art by Joe Cooper. It's color and everything. I'm not lying. That may be a hint to a later round of trivia, or it might not be.
Interesting.
John, I like to keep you guessing. It makes the game fun.
I could appreciate that. Absolutely, man. No, what's funny is I get older, I care less and less about the day-to-day activities of sports. But I always say the one thing that would make me go back to sports full-time would be in a documentary capacity. Because I do love the history of sport. And I mean, all the great...
That Dance, right? That terrific ESPN documentary about Jordan that aired earlier in the pandemic.
Yes, and I mean, that's, really in 16 years of sports radio, I did get to cover a lot of interesting stories. And it is fun when they either become subjects for documentaries or even regular feature films. Like, I remember when Moneyball came out, I kind of waited a while before I saw it because I'm like, I covered this story like every day it was happening. I'm like, what are they going to tell me about this movie?
My favorite thing about Moneyball is the only movie where Brad Pitt played someone who in real life is better looking than he is.
Billy Bean, that's hilarious. Billy Bean will be very happy to hear that.
He's a handsome man. He hasn't won a World Series, but still is World Series in the looks department.
And as that movie, I think, correctly explained and stuff like that, the guy can make miracles on a shoestring budget because he and his people really knew how to find talent that was affordable.
A's the first in the West as we sit here and speak today. They're well away.
Both our Chicago teams are in first place, which is insane.
Yes, how long? That's been a very long time since that happened.
Yeah, and good Lord, 1906.
Maybe were the White Sox around.
That was they played each other. They played each other in the World Series in 06. 06 or 07. I could be a year off.
Well, I have a terrific book called Crazy '08 that was about it till 2017 or whatever, 2018, when the last Cubs World Series. That's terrific. I can't think off the top of my head who wrote it, but the local sports editor, she did a great job.
Again, I love baseball history, and the only reason I bring it up is to keep myself honest. Eventually, I will get to that boxing documentary or docudrama that I want to do about that period from Joe Louis's retirement to Sonny Liston, when the IBC ran boxing and really was, in a backdoor way run by the mob.
Are they still is boxing still happening? I mean, I saw MMA was making an effort, but is boxing still happening now?
Yes, it was one of the first sports to come back as well, and mostly in Vegas. Bob Arum's promotion, Top Rank, had been running and has been running weekly cards, and there is actually at the end of this month a big fight coming up. Thank you, Dave Marin, Sox Nerd, definitely pointing out that it was 1906.
Oh, it's White Sox. Very good. Very good.
Cubs and Sox, yes, indeed.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I know it was close, So yeah, Dave is a massive. He does the trivia. Actually, your kindred spirits. He does the trivia for Comiskey Park. Well, I should say now.
Oh, nice.
Whatever, the Cell, U.S. Cellular, or whatever it's called. Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it's like Wicked Loans or something like that.
A guaranteed rate field.
Guaranteed rate field. That just rolls off the tongue.
It sounds like you should get a coupon as soon as you walk in the park or whatever.
Well, that's funny because it wasn't. No, 2006 was the Cardinals. 2004 was the last White Sox.
And 15 was the Cubs in Cleveland.
That's right.
Yep. Andy Parks and I.
15 was when my Mets swept the Cubs out of it.
Right. I know. Humiliation. Exactly. Shades of 69.
Well, we're beating the Blue Jays right now 14-1 to Buffalo, where the game temperature was 61 degrees, which I'm very jealous about. I'm a bit further south. Yeah, I can use some 61 degrees right now.
That's cool. John,
I got. You ready to do some 4 rounds of trivia?
Sure, man. I'm absolutely ready. I hope the league is ready as well.
How are you?
We'll see how everybody does now.
League, it's here for you. And John, just you're doing your. I have your season stats, and they're excellent.
Oh, fantastic! That's excellent.
You're 37 and 31 on the year.
I am blind to the chat, so people can chime in. Fred will give the answer, and then we'll see how the league did compared to my answers.
Okay, you don't want the league to help you out?
No, well, I mean, after the fact or whatever, I don't mind. I mean, we're playing as a team.
I was going to say, I feel like if the league gives the problem is the league has a bit of a delay, it seems like.
Yeah, sometimes, but I could be.
For them to get the real.
I could be pondering, and they might already get it. I mean, that does happen.
I feel like I need to come with a theme song for this.
Honestly, Fred, I bought a package of music beds, and I haven't found appropriate game show music. What's weird? It was 750 songs for $40, which is a steal.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and in fact, the music that was playing during that montage of the various versions of Word Balloon that are currently out there was one of those beds. I have yet to find one that's like game show appropriate. And the crazy thing is, half of them don't have descriptions. So I literally have to like needle drop over like 400 songs.
You got to sit there and listen to every, like make a note of which one.
And being in radio and being in radio production for so many decades, I know how to like label something and be like, all right, upbeat rock, heavy bass, something like that. So I'll remember what it's like enough to listen to it again.
Can I change my screen name? Is there an easy way to do that right now? Because I realize
you want to change it
on your email. I'm going to put my website up. That's cool.
Oh, if you want it for your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might have to pop out and come back, but if you want
that then. My website's just that.
Here, we'll put it in the chat regardless.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Hold on one second. So give me your email for people.
Done. It's just what you see on the screen.com.
So Fred Van Lente.
That was a private chat.
I'm having trouble. Hold on a second, Fred. I'm going to switch my earbuds because you're a little odd sounding. Everybody else, is Fred clear?
More so than usual?
Yeah. Now, you sent it on the... Okay. So you sent it in the private chat. Do you want that on the public chat?
Yes.
All right, hold on one second. I'm going to do that. No problem, buddy. It's all good. There they are. All right. So everybody can see this. If you want to contact Fred, there you go.
Awesome.
And it's on all the platforms. Hang on one second, Fred. I'm going to switch my earbuds and see if I can get a better sound out of you.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Here they are. We'll do this. I have the Shootist on without the sound right now on one of the cable channels. The last John Wayne movie, as you know. All right, I've unplugged. Hold on. All right.
Wayne Ron Howard classic.
Indeed. Okay, it does sound better. All right, good.
Excellent.
Good.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want earbuds in, but I have cheap $5 earbuds I got from the bodega, so I've got to actually improve my game.
Yeah. Do you have an external microphone you can use? And
that's what I'm using now.
oh, okay, good.
Or well, I have my computer mic.
Well, that would not be an yeah. I mean,
I guess
a separate mic.
Sorry, I meant the opposite of an external microphone. But I'll have to step that up. Yeah, like I said, John, you are 37-31 on the season. Riley, how you doing? Welcome.
Good to see you, Riley. Riley, we should talk soon. I'll say that publicly. Let me know if I can help out with anything new in the Riley Brown world.
I hope it's not about anything untoward.
Is Riley doing dirty comics and I didn't know? Go on.
So, John, as I said, is 37-31 this season on Word Balloon Trivia. We've had some exciting games. This is Game 3. And because it's Game 3, John, for Round 1, the theme is 3 answers, John. There are only 3 acceptable answers for this round of trivia.
Okay, so...
They're not only the 3 answers that you are only allowed to use, they're the only 3 answers you'll need. And those 3 answers are comic books, animated cartoons, and radio.
Oh, fantastic.
All right? So, I only want to hear one of 3 things. This is Game 3 of Word Balloon Trivia. This is only 3 answers. Those 3 answers are comic books, animated cartoons, radio.
Radio. Okay.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Question number 1 in round 1, theme is only 3 answers. The first time Clark Kent changes into Superman in a phone booth.
Radio.
Incorrect.
Oh, so it
was that in the Fleischer Studios animated cartoons in 1943.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Go on.
The first appearance of everyone's favorite newsman, Daily Planet editor Perry White.
First appearance of Perry White.
I'm looking for animated cartoons,
radio
or comic book.
Well, I know George whatever was the editor of the Daily Star originally.
Which in Action Comics number 2 is very clearly said to be Cleveland, in Cleveland, Ohio, which as a Clevelander means a lot to me.
I can appreciate that.
But no, I'm looking for the Daily, not the Daily Star, but the Daily
Planet. Right.
Perry White. Where
right.
was his first appearance?
Let's see here. I'm going to stick with radio again.
Radio is correct. Yes, the episode was called Clark Kent Reporter, and that first aired February 14th, my birthday, 1940.
John Holland also got it correct. Thank you, John. And Charlie Samaritan also got it. And, John Hedgenberg did not, unfortunately. Comic book, incorrect, sir. But also, Charlie got comic book for the first question. But it was a cartoon. It was cartoon. That's right. Excuse me.
Once again, I'm looking for 3 answers: comic books, cartoons, or radio.
Understood.
Question number 3: the first appearance of that devilish green rock, kryptonite.
That also was radio.
That is correct. That was from The Meteor from Krypton was the name of that episode, and aired in June 1943.
Was it called K-Metal back then, or was it called Kryptonite?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was The Meteor from Krypton, so I
yes.
Sure, it could have been either or. You asked me, I think K-Metal's a cooler name, but you know.
Let's see. Andrew got it correct. Charlie got it right. Very good, gentlemen.
Question number 4. I'm only with 3 answers, people. You only get this is the nerd version of animal, vegetable, mineral. It's comic books, cartoons, or radio. The first appearance of Clark Kent's mermaid sweetheart, Lori Lamaris.
Lori Lamaris. That is comic book.
That is correct. That was in a May 1959 issue of Action Comics.
Big fan of Lori Lamaris.
Well, you know,
you gotta love a mermaid.
That relationship would be consummated, but it's really none of my business.
I see Clark Kent on the beach, kind of scratching his head.
What kind of weird venereal diseases could fish ladies give you? I wonder. I would that That would give me pause. Like bluegill, would be something I might get from Laura Lamaris. But she seems like a fine, outstanding mermaid. Probably.
There's some beautiful, as I remember, just single panels of like Superman and Lori Lamaris like kissing or whatever, stuff like that.
My wife Crystal, as a joke, and I apologize if the person who runs this Instagram account is on our feed right now. She follows a Instagram account that is it's like called Clark and Diana or something. It's only images of Wonder Woman and Superman. Either it's not smutty, like it's not like penetration, but there's definitely a lot of implied hanky-panky going on.
Wow.
It's all Clark and Diana. Like
remember
that Mellencamp song.
Remember that John Byrne Superman comic where he's hypnotized and he and Big Barda are making smut movies? And
I bought that off the rack, and then it scarred me.
So did I. It didn't scar me. I'm just like, wow.
The renegade from Apocalypse is making porno with Big Barda and Superman.
Good stuff.
Question number 5. Again, I'm only looking for 3. This is game 3 of Word Balloon Dinner. I'm looking for 3 answers. The first appearance is Superman's enemy Livewire.
Oh, Livewire. That's animated cartoon.
That is correct. That episode first appeared on September 13th, 1997, and was written by Evan Dorkin and Sarah Dyer. So shout out.
Oh, that's fantastic! I didn't know that. So the creators of Livewire. I had no idea that they create. I mean, I know they did a ton of animation work. That's fantastic. I love those guys.
That's right. Question number 6. The first mention of Superman's home planet as Krypton. Is that comic books, anime, cartoons, or written?
I'm going to say comic books.
That is correct. In fact, in the very first panel of Action Comics #1, Superman's home planet is named as Krypton.
That's kind of what was in my head. Yeah, that 2-page origin or whatever, however many pages it is.
Well, it's one panel of the baby flying away, and then it immediately dumps you into this insane storyline where he's trying to save this woman from being unjustly executed.
Okay.
Then we're going to go really deep here. In Superman #1, they tack a bunch of pages in front of that. In addition to him being dumped off, fun fact: the Kents originally dumped him in an orphanage before adopting him, and he proceeded to trash the place. And so they were thrilled when the Kents had second thoughts and came back like, yeah, we'll take it.
That's so funny. I'll tell you. I think there was one in the 70s that Kurt Swan drew of Origin. I mean, it seemed like every decade or so they would bring it back.
I am really sick of Superman's Origin.
I understand.
Only slightly less sick of it than I am sick of Batman.
I understand. No, I can appreciate that.
Those fucking pearls fall one more time.
That I agree with.
Shit at the screen.
Yeah, Crime Alley's got to. Yeah, at this point we know.
Enough.
I think Matt Reeves is gonna do us right and not go back to that.
That's a good point, man. If they haven't, I'm just gonna throw Molotov cocktails at the screen if there's another fucking Batman.
Did you? We're talking the night before Volume 2 of DC Fandom. It's going to be tomorrow. Did you watch the first volume last month?
Funny story. My banker called me 2 weeks ago and was wanted to talk about portfolio and when I wanted to make any changes because of all the COVID. And 5 minutes in, he goes, "You going to DC Fandom?" And I remembered that he knows who I am and is a fan and started quizzing me about DC Fandom. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm actually not going to. But I was like, I got to admit, at this point, I'm kind of down with the Snyder Cut. I've totally joined the dark side, and I want to see the 4-hour Snyder Cut.
I do too.
Pure curiosity.
I'm on the same page as you, Fred. Absolutely. It's like, yeah. Let's see what else. However, in the same milieu, I'm very disappointed to hear that Stallone wants to recut Rocky IV and take out the robot. Totally true, Fred.
Believe it or not, the only Rocky movie I've seen is Creed.
Is 3?
All the way through.
It's Creed.
Which I guess is what, Rocky 8 at this point? I don't even know.
Rocky 7. That would be Rocky 7.
Sure.
Wow. That's You know, it's funny. BBC America today running 1 through 5.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, yes, indeed. And right now, I believe they're still in the midst of 3 as we're broadcasting. So,
Well, no one jump off this trivia quiz until Wild Rocky.
you know what happens. Come on.
I have question number 7 here, right for you, from only 3 answers, people. Only 3 answers. Complex Anime Cartoons Radio. The first appearance of Mala, the female Kryptonian escapee from the Phantom Zone.
Mala?
Mala. M-A-L-A.
I'm going to say animation.
That is correct.
Because it didn't sound like, obviously, it isn't one of the Phantom Zone 3 that we think of from the movies and comics.
Correct. That was in an episode of the Superman Adventures that aired September 8th, 1997. There was a comic book Mala, but he was male.
Ah, and do we know who Mala was played by at all? I mean, was it a famous actor?
Possibly. John, I'll only write down exactly enough information I need to ask you these questions.
It's okay. I just happened to, a couple of weeks ago for Mainframe Comic-Con, I had the whole Justice League animated cast and Andrea Romano. And,
sure.
And we talked about
all the shows.
Well, and all the guest stars that she was able to get over the years, starting with Batman the Animated Series, and David Warner as Ra's al Ghul, and
sure,
God, of course, Ed Asner as Granny Goodness as far as Apocalypse goes, which is pretty amazing. Hello, dear.
And Ironside played a Darkseid, right?
Who? Oh, yes, Michael Ironside. I was going to say Raymond Burr played Darkseid. Yes. Hello, Superman. Welcome to Apocalypse. Yeah, Michael Ironside. Absolutely, man. That's great. Yeah, you're right. No, that's truly. And what's great? We had the whole Justice League cast. We had Andrea Romano, and we had Clancy Brown. Speaking of great villains, and that was such a thrill for me because seriously, since Highlander and the Kurgan, I have loved that guy. He is. I in fact just saw Fred the Crown, the Netflix TV show.
That's good.
Yeah, and season 3. They switch to Olivia Colman as middle-aged Elizabeth, and Clancy Brown plays Lyndon Baines Johnson, which I would have never even thought, but he did tremendous. He was amazing.
They're both tall dudes. Johnson was notorious.
Yeah, I just thought Clancy has more hair than LBJ, but
and we shall pour out a 40 for the death of Venture Brothers, which is one of my favorite shows, and Clancy Brown played the Red Death, which is one of the great characters of the last episode.
I really hope everyone is kind of like, well, can HBO Max pick up Venture Brothers? I hope some streamer does, because it's such a great show.
It is. It's 17 years, 7 seasons, so it's a little...
Well, but it's always worth the wait. I mean, whenever they come back.
Well, I guess that's true. I used to think that every other season of the Venture Brothers was badass, but the one with Clancy Brown, I thought was true.
Yeah, great.
Last question, round number 1, only 3 answers. Only 3 answers for those of you joining us late. We only want to hear comic books and make cartoons radio. The phrase, this is number 8. First appearance of the phrase, up in the sky, look, it's a bird, it's a plane, etc.
Right. That's radio.
That is radio. That is the stock opening from the 1940s. Not the original opening of the show, Eventually Superman, but within like a couple seasons, that was the stock answer. So well done, John. You crushed that one.
Yeah, I think
7-1. All
right, we're off on a good clip, kids.
Well done, Leaguers.
Indeed.
That was impressive.
Thank you, sir. Well,
Are you like a big Superman guy?
100%, absolutely, okay. and especially the radio show is a tough listen, but I still appreciate it from a story standpoint. And there's that story that Gene Yang adapted for comics,
right.
The Superman versus the Klan, and that's the story behind that story is so amazing. John Holland also with the correct answer. Well done, John.
Nice,
very good.
Because I'm doing the comic book history of animation right now from IDW. We're listening now. First issue out in November.
Oh, fantastic, man! Yeah. So, and did good success Kickstarter wise?
Yeah. We did great. We doubled our ass. It was terrific. So what's cool is the Fleischer cartoons had the radio voices. So Bud Collier and I think her name was Joan Alexander played.
Joan Alexander, that's correct.
And they also played Clark and Lois in the Filmation New Adventures of Superman, which was the first Saturday morning cartoon.
Which I love. I know that, Fred. Well done, because yes, it's so funny. Paul Kupperberg and I were talking about
is that right?
the beginnings of Saturday morning cartoons, and I believe '64 is the year that they debuted, and that was the year I debuted.
66.
Oh, was it really '66? Wow, I am 2 years older
September
than Saturday morning
66.
cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the Superman show. Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons made before. I was done with Superman.
Because I thought, well, honestly, I did think that Superman might have been one of the first. So yeah, if I don't know.
For 2 years, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to round 2. Leaguers, I don't know, those of you who are not Superman fans may have put you to sleep on that last one. That's okay. Because now we need your full attention, because this round is really hard, and I sort of do this, but I'm kind of lazy and already came up with questions, so I was like, fuck it, I'm going for it.
I like hard questions, Fred. They don't upset me. That's good. So, I like being challenged.
The theme of this round, John, is if that is your real name. So here's the thing: is I'm going to give you the birth names of some famous fictional characters, and this is like a cross-genre thing. We've got cartoons, we've got comic books, we got TV shows, we got everything.
Interesting. Okay.
Literature, it's the whole kit and caboodle. So I'm going to give you the birth name of somebody, and then you're going to have to give me the more popular, famous name that most people know. For example, well, and this isn't like, I'm not like being like, who's Barry, who's Wally West known for, like it's not like
secret identity.
Secret identity. This is like someone was born in one name and they're sort of better known as another name.
Okay.
For example, if I said Kal-El, you say
Superman, or I would say
no,
Clark Kent.
You would say Clark Kent.
I'd have to say Clark Kent.
For a game, you should say Clark Kent.
All right, go for the human names. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Or the civilian identities.
So this is round 2. Well, it's like more like, Archibald Leach.
Cary Grant.
Cary Grant. That's more like what we're going for.
I'm with you. Okay.
A little of that too. So anyway, like I said, this round is called If That Is Your Real Name. And it is. And these are really stupid hard, and I don't know why I'm doing this to you, but I thought all these are really interesting to talk about, so they're on
my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
If that is your real name, Norval Rogers.
Oh shoot, I do know Norval. Is that Boris Karloff?
No, these are, sorry, I screwed you up with the Cary Grant. These are all made up. These are all fictional people.
Oh.
All fictional people. Does anyone, leaguers, know who Norval Rogers' more famous name is? He's probably someone you wouldn't think of as having a last name, but of course he does, because he's a person. He comes from a very famous animated cartoon show.
Oh, is that Madman? And I forget what his civilian name might be.
No, well, Madman was famously not animated.
Norval. Oh, no. Well, is that Steve? Is that
with
Steve
the right
Rogers?
answer? The leaguers got it. The correct answer is in the chat.
Oh, I see. David Fowley, Shaggy.
That is correct. Well done.
Well done.
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. His birth name is Norval Rogers.
Chicago film critic David Fowley. Great to see you, Dave.
David.
God, I did not remember that Norval Rogers was Shaggy. Zoinks.
Zoinks. Zoinks, Braggy. Number 2. If that is your real name, Beatrix Michelle Kiddo.
Beatrix Michelle Kiddo. Like little kid Kiddo.
Yes. AIDDA. And Beatrix with an X like Beatrix Potter. This is a movie.
What's that?
This is a movie, or arguably 2 movies, depending on which way you look at it.
Is that Laura Croft?
Pretty good guess, but no.
Laura Croft, whatever.
I'm stalling to see if
someone from the league is able to help me out here.
That's right. Going once. Okay. Well, Riley's thing is to speak.
What's that?
That is, so this is the only one that's not a name. Well.
Oh, there we go. Fowley says it's from a Tarantino film. Oh, is that? So is that?
Brian in the chat is correct.
Yeah, the bride. There you go. Yeah.
That is the bride from Kill Bill. Her birth name is Beatrix Michelle Kiddo. Uma Thurman plays her in Kill Bill. Well done.
Of course.
Well done, leaguers.
I like it, gentlemen. Thank you for the backup.
Number 3.
Go on.
If that is your real name, Carl Lucas.
These are fantastic. I love how hard these are. Carl Lucas. Carl Lucas.
This is a comic book character.
Probably an X-Men. Then
Really well known.
I was going to say it's probably an X-Men, and I suck at X-Men if it is.
A comic book character you know by his name that is not his real name.
I believe Wayne has it correct.
Believers, do it again, yes.
Luke Cage.
That is Luke Cage's birth name because he was an escaped con, not being a total idiot. He changed his name to Luke Cage once he busted up the prison and became a hero for hire.
Sweet Christmas. Indeed. Thank you, David. Well done.
Number 4.
And Charlie got it right, too. Good job.
Number 4. If that is your real name, Kent Allard.
Now him I know. That would be the real name of Lamont Cranston.
Yes, that is correct. Lamont Cranston, a.k.a. The Shadow.
Which, that's like the best backstory, because for the first, 20 novels... Well, I love it. I love the...
And says, hey, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
I love The Shadow, and all of a sudden, he's Lamont Cranston, and then all of a sudden, at the beginning of a Shadow novel, Lamont Cranston is like, what do you mean? I've been overseas all this time.
That's right.
Who's been around, pretending to be me? And there's that great spot illustration of the Shadow without his mask and hat.
You have that same great picture, but the William M. Gibson Shadow thing that I had from the 80s.
The Shadow scrapbook, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great illustration.
I assume that's from the original pulps, because I would assume so. Maybe not. Maybe it was made specifically for the book.
John, I love coming to your show because you are the only person I know who can talk pulps and radio, which is what I grew up with in the 80s. For some reason, when neither of those things were happening.
Before we get to the next thing, Fred, I Love a Mystery. Do you know that radio show?
Only by reputation.
Oh, okay, because it's one of my favorite shows, and it's this great show about 3 detectives that usually have to face these bizarre, in some cases, supernatural threats. There's a great one of their stories that is online. You can get both on YouTube and from the Internet Archive, called Temple of Vampires, where their cargo plane crashes in the Nicaraguan foliage jungle, and they stumble across a Nicaraguan temple that is all vampires and stuff. Fantastic stuff. Well, anyway...
And wasn't that essentially the inspiration for Scooby-Doo? Because don't they ultimately discover that almost always the supernatural stuff's all nonsense?
That, possibly. I've never heard that connection.
Well, because Scooby-Doo was originally called the House Mystery, and the dog was an inconsequential sidekick character. So I think the idea was that Fred Silverman, who was head of daytime at CBS in the 1960s, shut up those of you who are logging off already.
No.
This is good stuff here.
This is amazing stuff. Go on.
/streaming. He wanted to do a show called House of Mystery, but then the designer... Anyway, read the comic book history animation. Anyway, number 5.
Looking forward to that. But I bring up I Love a Mystery because during Turner Classic Movies Month of Stars, they featured the actress Nina Falk, and she made... Careful how you pronounce that. And she made this adaptation of the radio show called I Love a Mystery, and it is such a great noir that has these really extreme things happening.
What year was that?
45. And it was a Columbia film, and it's right during the midst of the radio show. Radio show was made twice. What's that?
Is it called I Love a Mystery?
The film is called I Love a Mystery. They made 2 others that featured the detectives from I Love a Mystery, and one of the radio stars played in all 3 shows. Barton Yarborough, who was also Jack Webb's first partner on radio and television on Dragnet.
Okay.
So, don't get me started for tangents, but look at this. This is great. Thank you, Scott Crosby, for being in England and watching, and even though you're tired, I hope you're enjoying the trivia.
Thank you. Scott, we will, if you have insomnia, we will cure you. With
exactly. Just
a radio show.
Close your eyes and enjoy the hypnotic voice.
It's going to nod right off. Not a problem. Number 5. If that is your real name, James Howlett.
Him we all know. That would be Logan, of course.
Well done. A.K.A. Wolverine.
Yes. That's why I had to check myself and go, don't say Wolverine, say Logan.
That's right. I probably would have accepted it anyway, to be honest. If that is your real name, Richard Dick Whitman. Number 6.
Dick Whitman. Movies?
TV.
TV. Dick Whitman. Gee, I don't know.
Calling.
Yeah.
It's a pretty famous one, so I think someone.
Dick Whitman. Yeah, I'll leave it to the league and see if they are able to. Dick Whitman.
So is there like a delay in the like chat, so in case anyone says movie, you can like cut it out.
Well, it'll only appear on screen if I choose to put it on screen.
Okay.
Of course. Shame on me. Well done, Andrew.
Well done, Andrew. That is correct. Don Draper is his more famous name.
Yes.
Well,
that's true. Yes, that's right.
But Brian, that's the whole point of this, is that this is everyone's real name.
Right. If that is your real name, Dick Whitman. I'm with you now.
Very
cool.
Number 7. If that is your real name, X51.
That is Secret Agent Corrigan.
Is it?
Is
not.
It?
Well, it couldn't be Secret Agent Corrigan because that was not his birth name.
Wait, X51. Oh, isn't that? I forget her name. That's female Wolverine, and I forget her name.
No, that's X.
No. I'm not getting any of these right.
I think X32.
It probably is X32. X51. X51. There we go. Oh, very good, gentlemen.
That is correct. Aaron Stack, a.k.a. Machine Man, rolled off the assembly line as X51. Well done.
Wow, I like it. Well done, gentlemen.
Well
Showing
done.
my Marvel weakness. Oh, that's funny. Charlie guessed Dokken. Wolverine's son.
No, Dokken. I think Dokken's name is Dokken, actually. I think that's his name. Number 8.
I still like the guess. Go on.
Number 8. If that is your real name, Michael John Carter. Comic book.
Okay.
And this is another one that's borderline real people name superhero.
All right, yeah, I was going to guess, Michael Holt is Mr. Terrific. I was going to guess Mr. Terrific.
That is your real name, Michael John Carter.
Oh, there you go, of course. Shame on me. Yes, indeed.
Booster Gold's birth name from the 24th century? Where he was born?
24 or 25, something like that. And of course, close, Charlie, but Rip Hunter's father. Rip Hunter's father is Booster Gold.
Booster Gold?
Oh, yeah, that was a reveal in the last 10 years. I think during the original 52 event, we find out that Rip is Booster's son. So, that's funny. And then, a couple people guessed John Carter of Mars. I don't know.
This John, no H in the John.
There we go.
So it is not John, clearly
that
not.
That would not be John Carter, then no. Mr. Burroughs would have an H in his name.
Number 9. If that is your real name, Eugene Thompson.
Familiar, but I'm not certain. Let's see. Eugene Thompson.
Also comics.
Yeah, I sensed comics. Eugene Thompson. Interesting. Let's meet Eugene Thompson. There you go. I'm just doing Stan too.
Excelsior.
Exactly. I don't know. Anyone in the chat know? Eugene Thompson? Oh, that's hilarious. Riley mocking me.
Hopefully they're not Googling this. But yes, that is Flash Thompson's real first
name. I didn't realize that. You see, Riley, I'll tell you, at the end of the day, I am more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy. Shame on me. But yeah, there we go. A lot of you. There you go. Good job, everybody.
And last but not least, number 10.
I'm letting Riley Brown down. I'm sorry, Riley.
Number 10. If that is your real name, June Osborne.
What's the first name?
June. June.
I'm thinking it's got to be tied to Norman.
Well, I would not do two Spider-Man characters.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
June.
June Osborne. Good
Well,
lord.
I have managed to get a Spider-Man villain question in every single mystery
Okay. June.
TV show.
Yeah, June Osborne. No, I
The
really.
main character.
Is that Agent Carter's real name? No, that'd be another
I think
Marvel.
Agent Carter's real name is Carter.
Yeah, probably. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't even
Margaret Carter. All right. Going once. Look at the chat. Going twice. Going three times. June Osborne is the real name of Offred, played by Elizabeth Moss, who is the main character of The Handmaid's Tale on True.
Oh, shame on me. Of course. Jesus, that's shame on me. Well, there you go. I only recently finally purchased Hulu on my own. But there you go. Yes, all right. Thank you, John. John thought it was Beaver's mom.
Offred is the more famous name of June Osborne in The Handmaid's Tale. But well done. That was a 9-1. You've only gotten one wrong in each of the
Oh, so you see, yes, when the league does get it corrected, it counts for our score, everybody. So good job.
Not bad.
Well done, kids.
I'm gonna take a quick break.
Fair enough.
And I'll be back with round 3, which is the picture round, which is my favorite round.
Indeed. I'm excited as well.
Right back.
No problem, buddy. As Fred is leaving for a second, I'll remind everyone, if you're not already aware of some of the other spin-off shows of Word Balloon, they were in the intro. We look at To the Outer Limits every Thursday night at 12:30 Eastern Time. Yes, it's already Friday morning when we're doing it on the East Coast, but we do that to accommodate our West Coast buddies, Gabe Hardman, and occasionally Jeff Parker, occasionally Andy Parks, To the Outer Limits as we rewatch the first season of The Outer Limits. And we're only up to the 6th episode. And also, of course, Trek Rewatch. Oh, yeah, Trek Rewatch is happening every Thursday afternoon. And we've been watching Star Trek Lower Decks and reviewing it. We don't like it, to be honest. But it's all right. And Word Balloon Live's coming up. Let's see. Well, this afternoon we spoke to Paul Kupperberg. So if you missed it, it's already up on YouTube, and we'll have the audio version of that tomorrow. And then our contest with Fred will post on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be a nice weekend of fresh Word Balloon audio. And also Mainframe Comic Con. I've been posting all the one-on-one interviews and the panels that I've done, and I still have Chip Zdarsky. He'll start off Monday. So that's what's coming up on Word Balloon in the next few days.
Oh, very nice. So, John, I don't know if you know this, but being a comics writer is kind of an unstable job, even in the most perfect of economic circumstances, which we are clearly not currently in.
Indeed.
So I've had to start a second business, and it's a travel agency, which I know is, with Expedia and everything else, it's not necessarily a growth business, but I have a sort of a very special travel agency, and frankly, John, I have more work than I can handle. And I was wondering if you might, I know you spend a lot of time on Word Balloon, it takes a lot of your time. I was wondering if you might, I'm looking for potential partners and employees. I'm just curious if you would consider taking this little quiz to see if you'd be.
Sure, I could use some extra bucks helping people.
Yeah, exactly. I'll send you the W-2 and the I-9 and all the stuff, because, John, what I run is a multiversal travel agency. And I hope everyone can see that.
Sorry about that. There we go.
We good?
Yes, indeed.
So, John, basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some of our packages that we give here at the Multiverse Travel Agency, and I just need you to fill in the destination.
All right, fair enough. I like it.
And maybe we can go into business together. It'd be fun. So
sounds good.
Our first package is a 3-day weekend in historic blank. The local attractions include Doom Lake, Castle Von Doom, Cynthia Von Doom Park. The Doomstat Dave and Buster's is one of the greatest Dave and Buster's in Eastern Europe. You don't hear a lot about this. And, of course, you get a Doombot factory tour. I'm curious, John, if you know where.
Yeah, that's
where this is.
Boy, all right. I hope, because there's a real place and then there's the fictional place. I hope I don't get them mixed up. I believe it's Latveria.
LATVERIA is, in fact, it's 3-day weekend in historic LATVERIA. Well done, sir.
As opposed to Latvia.
Well, right. Now, Latvia is a different place entirely. Pretty sure they don't have the Doomsday Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, I can only imagine the Doombots that work at the Doomstead Dave and Buster's.
Well, Latvia is Eastern Europe. It gets very cold. It's got a lot of rainy weather. What if you want more sun? Well, don't worry about that, John. You can also travel to sunny Blank in our 4-in-1 package. Now, if you purchase one of these packages, you can travel to Los Santos. You can go to San Fierro. You can go to rural Blaine County. You can go to Las Venturas, and you may not be shot or run over.
Los Santos, San Fierro, Blaine County.
The peanut gallery, the leaguers may be able to help you on this, but I can't see the chat. I'm just looking at my.
All right, I understand, and and a lot of them did get Latveria as well. So well done, everybody. No, I can't even guess. I can't even venture a guess. I suppose. I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to try. So no, I was, yeah. Go ahead.
Travel to sunny San Andreas from the Grand Theft Auto video game series.
See, once again, my kryptonite being video games. So yes, I did not know that.
Los Santos, San Fierro, Blaine County, and you get automobile and life insurance. Isn't that amazing?
Sierra Gordo was a guest, and Santa Prisca was a guest. So no, it looks like even the league was not.
Which one was Sierra? So Santa Prisca is a Denny O'Neil thing for the question of Batman for Bane is from.
That's right.
Isham
Zuby is the one who gave us Santa Prisca, and then Sierra Gordo, Andrew. So, not to be confused with Rochelle.
John, does modern life get you down? Well, escape from it all in Blank, where you can visit such places as the Red Center, a closed Texas border checkpoint, and Econo People House.
Wow. I'm assuming that's TV.
This is TV, yeah.
Texas border checkpoint.
I'll give you a hint. This show is cropped up before, earlier in the quiz.
Oh, is this another Handmaid's Tale sort of thing?
Yes.
But I don't know.
Life in the Republic of Gilead. Where
there we go. See, shame on me. There you go.
Border checkpoint. And Thursday is Ladies' Night. Thursday is Ladies' Night in the Republic of Gilead. Seems inappropriate.
That's like we used to have this commercial for. They would just tell all the bars in Chicago, and one of the features, like Ladies' Night, was Skirt and High Heels Night. Completely inappropriate today, I understand, but that's the last thing I think we'd also find in Gilead, Skirt and High Heels Night.
Classy. Paint the town red and blank. Local attractions include the Knight Stadium, Police Chemical Plant, Slaughter Swamp, and my personal favorite, the Giant Typewriter Museum.
That's beautiful Gotham City, of course.
That is beautiful Gotham City. And we have the Knight Stadium, the Ace Chemical Plant, Slaughter Swamp, Giant Typewriter Museum. I feel like the Crime Alley Pedestrian Mall
Pedestrian Mall, nice.
Was not a great idea by the local Bureau of Tourism, but what do I know?
But you could have some drinks at the Dropped Pearls Cafe.
That's right. All the pearls you can pick up off the street.
Oh my God, that's
Fun
awesome.
For the whole family in Blank. Local attractions include the Eternal Tire Fire, Laura Glad Donuts, the Abandoned Mattress Factory, or you can buy some comic books at the Android Dungeon.
I know that place. That's, of course, Springfield.
That is indeed Springfield, USA.
In the behind the music parody, I forget. I think they say it's a West Kentucky city.
Right.
I think that's how they refer to it. They're like, we finally get a state where their Springfield is.
Well, it does have those green mountains in the distance in this map, so that would certainly stand for reason.
That cracked me up. Yes, no, I'm a big Springfield fan indeed. And of course, Capital City and what's their rival? Shelbyville, of course. That's what I was trying to think of. Was Shelbyville, of course.
John, we have another package. It's September. We're moving into fall. You can find beautiful fall foliage in Blank, where you can visit the Miskatonic River, hang out, have a cafe, have a coffee at Independence Square. You can visit the old Charles Dexter Ward Place, perhaps attend Herbert West Medical School, or take in some paintings, take an art gallery.
Oh God, is that The HBO show right now. Is that Lovecraft County?
You know what? I will allow that. This is part of Lovecraft Country. It is Arkham, Massachusetts, where the name of Arkham Asylum comes from.
Oh, there and
Lovecraft Arkham Sanatorium.
I understand. Isham did get it correct. Andrew got it correct.
Nice. So Beleaguers get it. That counts. Lovely.
Yes. So, and it's funny. Wayne also thought of Lovecraft, but yeah, it was the Herbert West thing that got me.
That's right. Manage expectations for blank. Local attractions include the Glitter Factory, Paunch Burger, Snake Hole Lounge, the Turnbell Mansion, and of course, enjoy an exciting Pride Week at the Harvest Festival.
The Glitter Factory, Punch Burger, Snake Hole Lounge.
First, fourth in obesity.
I'm sorry. Drinking then.
First in friendship, fourth in obesity.
No.
No. Anyone?
Yeah, let's see if anyone can
Bueller?
get it. Bueller? Exactly. Punch Burger, that's fantastic. Oh, that's hilarious. Is it Parks and Rec, Pawnee?
It is Pawnee, Indiana. Manage expectations for Pawnee, Indiana.
Well done, everybody. That's very good. I got to be honest. I got tired of the formula of The Office, and to me, and I know that Parks and Rec broke from its framework and became a great comedy. And I have seen great scenes and great moments, but I have to confess I really haven't watched enough to know those other places.
I am also not a huge Parks and Rec fan, but what I'm a huge fan of that also had the Office format, I think really suffered from it. And you can watch the whole thing on Disney Plus right now. Is I thought the Muppet Show from like 2016 was freaking genius.
I loved it. Yes, I agree. Amazing. And the new Muppet Show that they're now showing on Disney Plus is pretty good too.
I have not seen that.
I saw the first episode and I was very pleased. I think it's a fun format, and I loved when the Jason what's his face movie was coming out.
Sure.
All the commercials.
The pretty good too.
Yeah, but I liked all the commercials that they made. Like Ralph and one of the rats going through the drive-through at I forget what fast food place it was, or pumping gas and stuff like that, and it was just like loose Muppet talk in the real world, and it killed me honestly. So no, like the current Muppet people know what they're doing. It's very very funny, very funny.
So if you like Muppets and have Disney Plus, go to the Muppets.
Yeah, Isham, exactly. Isham says regarding Parks and Rec, Patton Oswalt's Star Wars filibuster was genius. Yes, I have seen that, and it is very, very funny. Agreed.
What happens in blank stays in blank. We have some secret sites, and we won't tell if you won't. These sites include Warrior Falls, the Great Mound, Crystal Forest, and Jabari Land. We won't tell if you won't.
I don't know, but I love the description, and I love the Great Mound. Warrior Falls, the Great Mound, Crystal Forest, Jabari Land. Is that I'm going to guess, Savage Land?
No.
Khazar?
We'll wait to see.
You see, there we go. Very good, everybody. Wakanda, yeah.
What happens in Wakanda stays in Wakanda. It stays here because we mind wipe you before you leave.
I understand. Got Bob Ullman, the great inker, Marvel inker, and right now I have a great blank cover that he drew and I bought and I love it, and it's of T'Chaka fighting a World War II Captain America with that old World War II shield.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So. That was okay. That was 6 of 8. So you lost. You missed 2 on that.
All right. Good job, League. Thank you.
You are still crushing.
Well, the League backed me up. I did well in that first category.
I mean, the League has got your back, and as we would expect them for the hours upon hours of free entertainment you give them.
No, they helped me out, and then also through Patreon. Thank you greatly, League, for your support. Several of the patrons are here.
I would point out that I'm not just a Quizmaster; I'm also a Word Balloon Patreon.
And I thank you for
and I do so proudly. No, thank you.
It's my pleasure.
For all your wonderfulness.
So, hey, man, no, honestly, and really, everyone's been great, and, numbers have been great in terms of everybody listening and watching. So, that's great. I was a little concerned that, it's like you love pizza, but if you have pizza every day, that's too much pizza. But thankfully, so far people aren't sick of word balloon pizza, so that's good.
Well, John, I mean, obviously we're all streaming our brains out with this lockdown, so it's infinite pizza.
Indeed.
So, John, round 4, as it always is the mystery. Now I'm going to ask you 9 pop culture questions, all of which on a common theme. And the 10th question is always the question.
Right. What is the category, or what is the subject?
What is the category? Exactly.
Yes.
So, and I'm not even giving hints because the league's been killing it. So I don't think you need any hints.
Well, we'll see.
So, are you ready, John, for the mystery round?
I am ready.
Mystery round. 9 questions. Last question, the 10th one, is what is the theme? If you figure out the theme, leaguers, I'm talking to you specifically. If you refrain from not dropping it in the chat till I get to 7 or 8, I would appreciate it. Keep it to yourselves towards the end of the quiz.
Thank you, John. That's very kind. John says he loves listening to Word Balloon. You're a very kind man, John.
John, you've got excellent taste. All right, mystery round, round 4.
Yes, sir.
9 pop culture questions, all on a certain theme, 10th answer to the theme. Number 1. What is the name of Buckaroo Banzai's band?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, but there's one of my pop culture blind spots. So, yeah.
What is the name?
League, help me out.
Of Buckaroo Banzai's band.
Shangri-La, I don't know. That's just a guess on my part, but again, the league will back me up and give us a good answer.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Ah, there we go. The Blue Blazer Regulars? Is that true? I'm going to guess no.
According to Wikipedia, it's not actually true, Brian. I'm looking for another name.
Good guess, Brian. It's all right.
All right. Going once. Going twice. Going thrice. I was looking for the Hong Kong Cavaliers.
Ah, the Hong Kong Cavaliers. Very interesting. All right.
Fair enough. Number 2. I thought everyone would get that. But there you go. This game is also entertaining me.
I certainly hope so.
Number 2, John. Which member of the Legion of Superheroes, real name is Bryn Londo, was born on the planet Zoon and received his bestial power set from being experimented on by his father?
Is that Timberwolf?
That is Timberwolf. Well done.
I know my Legion. Don't know my X-Men. Know my Legion.
That is correct.
As I told Jeff Johns that over a decade ago, there were 2 doors when I was a kid, the X-Men door and the Legion of Superhero doors, and I gladly went through the Legion door. Yes, sir.
You poor bastard. So, Bryn Londo is Timberwolf's real name. Number 3.
Some argue the original Wolverine, given that Dave Cochran had a hand in both. Well, obviously, not in the, I guess, X-Men one. Never mind.
Oh, is that right? Timberwolf.
I think Timberwolf does predate Wolverine, but go on.
Fair enough. That's why there's so many movies about Timberwolf.
Exactly. Doesn't make it right.
Number 3, mystery round. What was Thundar the Barbarian's primary weapon?
Oh,
which
Jesus.
he stored on his gauntlet when it wasn't in. Thundar the Barbarian, famously created by Alex Toth and Steve Gerber, with designs later on by Jack Kirby.
Indeed. Ookla aerial ride. See, that I remember, but I was really hoping that would be the question, would be Ookla's name, or Ookla the Mod. Let's see, I don't know. Does anyone know Thundar's primary weapon that he kept on his belt?
Keep in mind this was right after Star Wars, and people were copying this stuff quite a lot.
Ah. Would it be his laser sword?
The second half is correct. Hey, David got it.
Dave Fowley, well done. Sun sword.
Thundar's weapon was the sun sword, and was a little hilt he kept on his gauntlet. He'd pick it up and it'd shoot, the light or laser, Andrew, out of there. But I'll count it. John, you know me. I've got to whip out the Valiant questions every once in a while.
Certainly.
Number 4. Acclaim Comics
Yes.
Acclaim Comics brought back the classic Barry Windsor Smith buddy comic Archer and Armstrong for a short-lived series in 1997. Under what title more reminiscent of another of Armstrong's immortal brothers? What was the name of the short-lived 1997 Archer and Armstrong revival by Acclaim?
No.
I thought that's probably the hardest one of them.
Yeah.
Night.
But I will confess that I believe I know the answer to number 10.
Okay, fair enough. But we're all on Scout's honor here.
Indeed.
Eternal Warriors was the name of the.
Oh, okay, sure.
Archer and Armstrong revival.
Okay, now I'll ask a question then, and again, this kind of shows you my lack of knowing my Valiant and Acclaim history. Because isn't there currently in Valiant and Eternal Warriors comic, and is it different? Obviously, it's different from Archer and Armstrong, I believe.
Well, so they confused the hell out of it. Yeah, the Mission got it. Well done.
Yeah, well done, Mission.
There's a character called Eternal Warrior, singular, who is Armstrong's brother.
Oh, okay, so that is the link is still there.
Right. Well, yeah, and so that was in the night.
Okay.
Eternal Warriors, I had to read it recently for work, and it's a deeply strange comic book from the mid-90s. As so many comics in the mid-1990s were. Number 5 in the mystery round. This newspaper comic strip about a two-fisted wildlife photographer was created by cartoonist and former National Park guide Ed Dodd. And this, John, was the part that sort of blew me away. Its final original strip ran just a few weeks ago on August 16th, 2020.
Wow.
Less than a month ago.
Wow.
So
all right, I'm sorry, the two-fisted, what is two-fisted?
Wildlife photographer was created by former National Parks guide Ed Dodd. And it lasted from, I want to say, either the late 40s or the early 50s.
Up until a couple weeks ago.
August 16th, 2020.
Wow. God, I really do pride myself for knowing my action-adventure comic strips. I have to say...
got it. The lead comes through. Yeah.
Oh, Mark Trail, sure.
Mark Trail.
Wow. I didn't even know Mark Trail was still running. Holy cow.
That is correct. Well done.
That's so funny. All right, and yeah, unfortunately, Andrew guessed Steve Cannon. Big fan of Steve Canyon. I'm assuming that's what he meant. Steve Roper. I don't know Steve Roper. Is that Norman Fell's son from the Ropers? Who later became a two-fisted...
He was in Three's Company.
Exactly.
Number 6 in the mystery round. John, which DC Comics secret agent has the responsibility for chasing down aliens in the classic Darwin Cook series, New Frontier?
All right, give me, because you were a little muffled.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Which DC Comics secret agent has the responsibility for chasing down aliens in Darwin Cook's classic The New Frontier?
That would be King Faraday.
That is King Faraday.
I'm
correct.
a massive...
White-haired King Faraday.
Massive King Faraday fan. I just bought the Paul Galassi, I want to say it was 90s, King Faraday miniseries they did. DC did and stuff. And I wish I could give you the name of it right now. I can't, but it's...
You are like a human DC fangirl. The next time my stockbroker calls me, I'm sending him to you.
Please do. Please do. That's fantastic.
Number 7 on the mystery round. A running gag in the Colbert Report was Stephen's fear of a particular kind of animal. So, when Stephen teamed up with Spider-Man in Amazing Spider-Man number 573, they of course fought which C-list Spidey villain?
Well, it's not the Rhino. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, I was going to guess Bears as well. Is it Bears?
Bears is the animal Stephen was afraid of. What is the name of the Spider-Man? Spider-Man has many animal-themed enemies. None of them are called bears.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a sea-level Spider-Man villain that is connected to bears. Oh, is it maybe Grizzlies? Or the...
Thank you. Yes, I was looking for the Grizzly. Is the enemy that Stephen Colbert and Spider-Man fight in Spider-Man Number
Well, as I said, I'm connecting the dots right now, so that's what made me think of Grizzlies. Yes, okay.
uh, number 8 on the mystery. John is pretty confident he knows what the mystery is, the solution is. Maybe some of you listening do too, but I appreciate you keeping it yourselves.
Sorry, kids. I know I can't help it.
Number 8, John.
Yes, sir.
Robert E. Howard's famous creation, Conan the Cimmerian. His name means high or wise in what language?
High or wise in what language? I
I
forget.
mean, the translations are either high or wise.
Right. I mean, I want to say Crimean, but is that no? Is that Crimean? I don't know.
No. I mean, if you know the theme, this is slightly easier. All these things are easier if you figure.
Yeah, but I can't make the connection to the theme in terms of the language. So no, please.
I'm stalling for the
yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the league knows. Everybody know the Conan's language? Shame on me.
Well, it's obviously a language that has a lot of. It's not only in this language, Conan means high or wide.
Right, but we need the name of the language.
That is correct.
The Hyborian?
No,
Yeah,
Celtic. In Celtic, Conan means high or wide.
I
Conan
didn't.
O'Brien obviously is a real life human that has.
Sure.
Name.
I didn't realize that technically Conan's language was considered Celtic, but okay.
No, I didn't say it was. But the name Conan in Celtic means high or wise.
I see. Okay.
So.
All right.
Close. That was a gimme, but okay.
All right.
Number 9.
Number 9. Last one.
Last question before you tell me what the theme is.
Right.
This Dark Horse creator-owned imprint started in 1999.
Okay.
And brought us a continuation of Frank Miller's Sin City and also the debut of Mike Mignola's Hellboy. What was the name of the Dark Horse imprint under which Hellboy was originally published?
Because it was Dark Horse Presents, but, I mean...
No, Hellboy was... I don't believe Hellboy was... No, Next Men was a John Byrne series that was also under his imprint.
Oh, so was it Legend?
It wasn't. That was Legend. Maverick. The name of the imprint...
Did not remember that.
Maverick.
Did not remember that. But again, I do know our subject.
So do you want to let the league answer first as to what the theme is? So guys,
think about it, kids. It's right there for you. I'm sure that, and again, I know there's a delay. I'm sure a lot of people are going to chime in with this. Because, like I said, I got it by about the fourth clue. We'll see. Curious. So a subject that I believe will be dovetailing into. What's that?
Did you edit these out?
No. That's all right. No, we're doing good. There's a little pause. That's all right. We can let listeners that are hearing this for the first time kind of ponder. But I have a feeling that the listening audience is probably screaming it out right now. Shall we flip over the cards? Because League, I got your back on this one.
John, what is the theme?
That would be NBA teams.
That is correct. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the Timberwolves, the Phoenix Suns, the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, by Suns and Warriors, I'm like, I think I know.
The Sacramento Kings, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Boston Celtics, mispronounced, but and the Dallas Mavericks are all.
Yes. Dallas Mavericks, who apparently were named after James, even though that's the horse term for a Maverick horse, but apparently was named after the James Garner TV show.
Interesting.
So that's what he claims, and I'm not going to argue with James Garner, for God's sake, even when he's dead.
And by a bizarre coincidence, John, coming out on September 22nd, I have the comic story of basketball by terrific art by Joe Cooper. It's in color. The fast break history hoop creation game in 1896-ish. Up until today. And if you have someone in your life who loves basketball, loves comics, and his great taste. You totally get it.
Dude, I find the history of the NBA incredibly fascinating, especially the now defunct teams like the Syracuse Nationals, where
Sure.
Johnny
The
Red,
76ers.
yes, okay, of course, absolutely, my God. Who became the Brooklyn Nets, right? Didn't the 76ers become the Brooklyn Nets?
No, the New York.
Oh, that was
New York,
Jersey.
New Jersey Nets.
That's right. Of course it was New Jersey. Yes. No, and they
ABA team. Normally, I would wear my ABA shirt for this. I'm currently wearing the basketball shirt of my alma mater, Syracuse. But I was drinking. I decided to drink red wine tonight. I did not want to get red wine on my white ABA t-shirt because I'm super clumsy. But yeah, so yeah, the Nets, the Spurs, the Pacers, and the Nuggets were all
right ABA teams. And then there was, and I love this because I actually have a connection to this ownership. The Spirit of '76, they didn't want to, they weren't allowed to let their team merge with the NBA, but they were considered owner participants, so they got a cut of everybody else's revenue. I believe it's the Spirit of '76.
Oh, that was the ABA team?
Yeah, and that they continue to earn checks from the NBA, and they're big checks for doing nothing. They're incredibly big checks.
They're the Bobby Bonilla of ABA.
Yes, but even and I guess they had their history in the ABA. But one of the sons of the original team owners was one of our Bruce Murray was his name, and he was a Sporting News Radio morning show host, and I know he went to Sirius XM, and I mean at least 10 years ago was still doing sports talk on satellite radio. I don't know what his current lot in life is, but a pile of cash was waiting for him whenever, God forbid, the parents checked in and everything. And he's a really good guy and knows his newest sports, so like real legitimate as far as sports broadcasting.
Spirit of '76 was what the St. Louis.
Yeah, that was the St. Louis team.
St. Louis ABA team.
Yes, and Bob Costas was their play-by-play man.
Okay, and John Sterling, who's really famous now as the Yankees radio guy, was the Nets.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, again, obviously I come from the Bulls town, and always appreciated the Bulls, and was very fortunate to be working in sports radio during that incredible decade of 6 championships in the Michael Jordan years. And and I'm pleased to say I got to know a lot of the Bulls. And I don't know if Michael would remember me by name, but he probably recognized me and stuff, which is kind of cool. But all of them, Rodman, Pippen, Phil Jackson, good Lord, all the role players. John Paxson, the great, unfortunately not a great GM, but a great player and a great clutch player. Came to one of my birthday parties, which blew my mind. And it's like, hey, look at John Paxson at my birthday. That's great. And that's truly why, man, he really had such bad luck as a Bulls general manager. And I guess out of loyalty, Reinsdorf kept him in the job for a really, really long time up until this past year, or last year, I can't remember which. But, man, the only other guy like that, a general manager that I used to really feel sorry for, was poor Wayne Embry of your former Cleveland Cavaliers, that always had some rough luck when it came to drafts and trying to put a team together. So I do understand. So are you a LeBron guy? Do you like LeBron?
I do. I love LeBron. Yeah, no, he grew up 30 minutes from where I did.
Oh, cool.
I'm from Cleveland, sort of midway between Akron and Cleveland. But yeah, no, I think because he won with the Cavaliers, really do no wrong. I mean, no one's burning his jersey now. I don't think. Who knows?
Well, honestly, pro sports. I'm glad I'm not in sports radio anymore. Like I said, it's so weird, Fred, because truly, a lot of things that I've loved over the years, nerd pursuits, you learn how the sausage gets made, and the one thing that did disgust me was professional sports. Yeah, and it really started while I was still covering it, when personal seat licenses became part of the mix if you wanted season tickets for whatever major sport it was. Sure. And it was like just the level of greed, and also how detached the common fan now is from being able to see a game live and buy tickets. Yeah. And it really shouldn't be this massive financial commitment.
and particularly for basketball, which is like the best sport to see played live. I think. I mean, I love going to baseball, but anyways, watching TV is a little bit easier. Basketball is the total opposite.
Sure. We in the midst of when I was working in sports radio, that's when they opened the United Center, and in fact, I was there for the first event, which was Frank Sinatra with Don Rickles opening for him.
Sure.
In 1994, that was amazing.
That was a cutting edge combo for 1994. Wow.
That was the first event, and then
live crew not available. Get Rickles.
I'm glad. I mean, it was certainly Sinatra near the end, but I'm glad it was like watching.
Nirvana was busy.
It did fine. It was. He filled. Hey, don't kid yourself. Sinatra still filled the joint. It was still Sinatra. So, but it was. We had a skybox. My radio station had a skybox to cater to the sponsors.
Right.
Mostly for the sales team and stuff. Well, I mean, those Jordanless years, those 2 years where Jordan wasn't playing and was playing baseball, that's when we had the most access to the skybox. But also being part of the sports staff, I was on the court for a few cool games over the years and stuff, and got to see a couple playoff games. It was pretty neat, man.
That's awesome.
So yeah, as Wayne points out, Wayne, a big Ottawa fan of sports and everything. Yeah, you got to get a second mortgage to take the family to a game. Totally, man. Oh, hilarious. John Fowle, a sports question, indeed, saying that that's your subject. But that's, John, as Fred pointed out, he's doing a graphic novel of the history of basketball.
Well, technically, I had 10 sports questions.
That's true.
They were, but yeah. And Barclays opened up. I've lived in this particular apartment for about 20 years. And Barclays opened up about 6. So it's been cool just to walk. I mean, it's still stupid expensive. I don't have any kids, and my wife takes to the shit, so it's really cheap for me, John, to go with a friend.
Now, are you a boxing guy at all, Fred, or no?
I'm not. Said this sounds weird. I like doing it. I don't like watching it. Like boxing, if you want to get a full body workout, like boxing is awesome.
That's true.
Yeah.
I
tried to watch it. It's just one of those things that doesn't work.
I understand, man. No, again, I think I lucked out growing up during Ali's great days of the 70s and everything. So, I was born in 64, so I do remember Ali's, the second half of his career, the 70s period, which,
sure.
I mean, the 60s he was untouchable. But that's why the 70s was an interesting period as well, because he, having lost 3 years due to not going to the draft and going to Vietnam and stuff, I mean, he was more vulnerable. And those were wars. And sadly, likely, the reasons for his Parkinson's syndrome in the second part of his life.
Well, and one of the things we get into in the comic book history of basketball is, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was the one born through Oxford. I guess I could have done that for the round, too. But I did. That is your real name, Lou Elsendorf.
That's true.
Kareem very much, was inspired to get into Islam and to do all the political activities by Ali. I mean, Ali was huge influence on so many athletes in different sports and different disciplines.
Well, and even though he was a high school and college player in the 60s, he really was a peer when it came to being an athlete that was politically aware. And right there with Ali and Jim Brown, not James Brown, or the CBS guy, but Jim Brown, the great football player. No, he was amazing. He a former word balloon guest, I'm proud to say, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And I did not realize this. I just thought he got game again recently, which is my second favorite basketball movie and one of my favorites, probably my second favorite movie. But Jim Brown is like an evil cop in He Got Game, which I completely forgot about. So
that's a great movie, and I
think He Got Game is amazing.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think I am.
It was shot down the street from my house.
Oh, that's amazing. Cool.
Soccer's was shot down the street from my house. He Got Game was shot
down. Okay. But yeah, actually, I'm kind of going through my mind of great basketball movies. You know what I love for a throwaway comedy basketball movie? Gabe Kaplan's film Fast Break. And I don't know if you remember the Fast Break when he's.
Well, you want to know about my favorite basketball? If you talk about the right comedy, I mean, it gets better up. I think it's amazing. I think Uncle Drew is a great movie.
I still haven't seen Uncle Drew. Was it fun?
Yes, anyone who doesn't like Uncle Drew. I think Uncle Drew is terrific.
Cool. I haven't seen it. I'll be honest. I'm.
And another great. Have you seen Love and Basketball?
Yes.
That's a great movie.
I'm trying to think of of course, from a college standpoint, Hoosiers, great movie.
I don't like it. Hoosiers high school.
Oh, that's right. Shame on me. It is high school. Wow, that's right.
I think
you don't like.
Boring, but that's the thing.
How about One on One, the Robbie Benson movie?
Not seen that.
Oh, that's a really interesting basketball movie. And
my three favorite basketball movies are Uncle Drew, He Got Game, and White Man Can't Jump.
That's very funny. I like it. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, like I said, I definitely He Got Game.
Sports movies generally suck because they can't compete with the actual game.
Well, and also you kind of know they're most of the time they're going to win.
Yeah, that's why Rocky blew people's minds, right? Because and like I said earlier, I haven't actually seen Rocky. I know what the plot is through osmosis in the culture, but I imagine that's partly why Rocky was a big deal.
No, and
Blue Chips is great.
I enjoy Blue Chips too, and there's one of those rare exceptions where they or they win, but then of course the coach gets nailed for violations and stuff. So I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
yes, indeed. Yeah, great point, David. The Love and Basketball from the director of The Old Guard. Absolutely, man. So pretty wild. That's awesome. I forget her name right now, but that's amazing. Yeah, I like Ron Shelton sports movies. I do think they're fun. I even the schmaltz of For the Love of the Game with Costner, but I love his Play to the Bone, good boxing movie that Shelton.
But as much like I like I think Can't Jump, it's no Bull Durham, which I think kind of shot us in the back. Like every movie that he's done since Bull Durham, it's not quite Bull Durham that first shot.
John asks, there's a team called Trail. Well, there is a Trail Blazers, of course, John. So yes, there is. That's close enough. But yeah, Mark Trail. I'm still blown away, and I'm surprised that Mark Trail was still going.
I was surprised that you didn't know Mark Trail.
Well, I just did, and it didn't occur. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't remember it being the two-fisted photographer.
Yeah,
I always thought of it as a Western. I thought of it as a.
No, I think it's. Well, I mean, it's modern day. I think it's set in the West.
Yeah, and it hadn't been in a Chicago newspaper. I'm guessing since the maybe early '80s might be the latest Mark Trail was still.
So David brought up Rush, which I've never seen, but I will say a sports movie for a sport I have zero interest in that I really enjoyed was Ford versus Ferrari.
That was, I agree with you, to the point where it put me on a Hot Wheels kick.
Oh yeah, my father-in-law is a former race car driver, and so I was like, you should do this. You should do that. But then I watched it and oh crap.
It was fantastic. I love Ford versus Ferrari, and that's interesting. What was also on the radio? Oh, Mark Trail was also on the radio. Yes,
I have not seen Foxcatcher, which is a wrestling movie, but I did enjoy the Paul Giamatti movie with Amy Ryan, where he's got a host, where he's the high school wrestling coach.
Okay, and I love the MMA movie that Kevin James made. Shame on me. I can hear Henry Winkler singing the song. Here Comes the Boom.
John, have you ever seen Red Belt?
Yes, I have. David Mamet. I'm a fan.
I can't pronounce that dude's name.
Yeah, I can't. The actor, yeah.
I love that guy.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, and I agree with David as well. Warrior and the Fighter, both of those are great. Not because of the sports involved. Yeah, Warrior especially, I really enjoyed with Tom Hardy and Nicolas Cage. So that's a good MMA movie, Warrior. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I'll watch MMA, and also, by the way, Kill a Man coming from Philip Kennedy Johnson and Steve Orlando from my sponsor Aftershock Comics next month, October, and it's interesting because they took a real incident from boxing. Emil Griffith was this amazing middleweight, and he fought this guy Benny Kid Paret, and Emil was gay. and it was kind of, obviously because this was the early 60s, not widely known. And Pere would make fun of him and called him, and forgive me if I'm getting the Spanish wrong, everybody, but maricon, I believe, which is the pejorative for a gay person. And Emil didn't like that, obviously. And they had a televised fight, and Emil beat the fuck out of him. And sadly, so badly, he ended up dying from his ring injuries, Kid Pere. So it really was this terrible tragedy that, again, these were the circumstances. That's why it happened. And it really caused Pere, who did continue for another almost 10 years, if not 10 years in boxing, but he kind of held back because he was able, unfortunately, physically killed this man, and through his boxing and everything. And this Killer Man is based on that those circumstances, but in an MMA setting, and also very different. So there you go. So that's an MMA thing that's coming up. Gridiron Gang, decent movie. I enjoy that movie. What else? I also I agree. Bennett like Beckham, of course, great soccer movie.
Different sport. I wish Drew Barrymore would direct more movies because her debut with it is terrific. With Ellen Page, the roller derby movie is really good.
Oh yeah. That was a good movie. Yeah.
It's terrific.
I enjoyed that. Not to be confused with Kansas City Bomber with Raquel Welch from the early 70s, where she's a roller queen.
Not directed by Drew Barrymore.
No, not at all.
Firestarter age.
Do you? I am really. I don't know if I'll watch it beyond one or two episodes, but I'm very curious as to who thought it was a good idea to give Drew Barrymore a talk show.
I was walking down the street earlier today, and I thought I saw that in a bus, and I was like, "Did someone give Drew Barrymore a talk show?" Apparently so.
I mean, I guess from a generational standpoint, it makes sense because a lot of her fans are probably mothers, right? And forgive me if I'm generalizing, but it would seem that that age group.
I have not watched a talk show since Donahue. Was that in Chicago, John? That was in Chicago.
Well, show. as you may know, it started in Cleveland before Chicago.
I did not know that. All I know is I will watch it over my mother's shoulder in Cleveland. That's the last talk show I watched.
Well, there's a really old, I believe, while he was still in Cleveland, either like early 70s episode where he interviews Johnny Carson. That's really fun to watch. But yes, it's the heyday of Donahue was in Chicago, and he was a fixture here until he went to New York.
Inherited.
Yeah, exactly. And isn't it crazy? Yeah, Oprah kind of unseated him, but another woman that moved to Chicago and But I'm a massive Donahue fan, and in fact, I even enjoyed when he was doing his political show on MSNBC. I think he's one of the great talk show hosts, and it was adorable. Marlo Thomas was a guest on his show,
sure.
And you could see obviously these two people are incredibly attracted to each other, and
sure.
You saw it actually happen on camera, and it's like, isn't that interesting that they lived here in Chicago for a long time? So yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Phil's, absolutely. So I respect the great talk hosts, obviously, and I mean I certainly, based on what I've been doing, Christ, even going back to my radio days and stuff. I mean, they were kind of my teachers in terms of how to conduct interviews. So there you go, my man. Well done, Fred. We can. That's hilarious. Of course, yes. Phil Hartman did an awesome Donahue on Saturday Night Live. Yes, he did. Oh, and for the name of that Drew Barrymore roller skating movie, yeah, Whip It, of course. Very nice, very good. So, Fred, I don't know, are we anything else to cover? So, as you said, let's go chronological. The graphic novel, the history of basketball, coming out in just a couple, like in a week, 2 weeks,
just over a week. New book day is Tuesday. It's not coming new book day, but it is. New book day happens. It's September 22nd.
Okay, September 22nd. And then November for the history of animation?
Yeah, listing right now in previews is from IDW, number 1 of the comic book history of animation. And I'm writing the Dynamite Zombie crossover, the exclamation point Dynamite. And fittingly, the first issue that drops in October is really good.
Who's in the crossover?
You got Redstone. You got Emperor. You got John Carter of Mars. You've got Peter Cannon, Thunderbolt.
Wow.
You've got Project Superpowers.
Wow.
I'm going to get Panther in. You got everybody, John.
That's
everybody
amazing.
Is in there, and you've got the Chaos characters, right? You got Evil Ernie.
Wow.
You got everybody, and they're all going to be maybe eating each other or being eaten or both. You don't know. You got to buy it to find out.
Are there several artists that are involved, or is it one artist?
It's primarily this terrific dude whose name is Italian and has many vowels in it. I'm going to not fuck it up, so I'm going to go and find out. I love this dude. He's crushing it. His name is Vincenzo Cooley.
Cool.
So pick it up.
That sounds great. Wayne points out, speaking of John Carter, the Frazetta Princess of Mars painting sold for $1.2 million today.
Seems low.
That's I understand. No, I hear you, man. That's funny.
Didn't know though.
My good friend Doug Klauba just did a beautiful Deja Thoris. I don't know if it was a cover for Dynamite or not, but my God, it was just stunning. And
cool.
A couple points here. Let's see. Fred, loved your Taskmaster miniseries from years ago. Are you the one that came up with his origin story, or did Marvel come up with that?
Everything that was in the miniseries I came up with, which was sort of an origin story of me and the backstory of him being a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, or being a town full of Hitlers and all that stuff. I came up with all of that. And also, right before the lockdown started, Marvel just re-released my book and Udon's Taskmaster miniseries in a collection they had not bothered to send me yet. But it's really fun. It's a big, nice chunk of comic, really inexpensively, but it's a great little graphic novel, and it's out in 2020. I do not remember off the top of my head what they titled the.
That's cool. When does the Dynamite crossover start?
Next month.
Next month. That's cool. Well, Riley Brown says if you need any variant covers, let him know.
Your close personal friend Nate Cosby is editing it, Riley, so you know who to email.
There we go, everybody. Nate Cosby. That's who to hit up. all aspiring artists. Write Nate Cosby right now.
That's right. Wow. Right.
That's really. No, that's great, Fred. That sounds really cool.
But that's really specific information for one person in the chat. All right.
I'm teasing, but you never know.
But no, it's a lot of fun, and it's cool they reprint Taskmaster.
That's excellent, man.
See, I'm annoyed that the Black Widow movie was delayed because I want to see how much of my book they ripped off.
I can appreciate that. Absolutely, man. Jeez.
That is true, Nathan. Well, but it's the variant covers and Dynamite's a bottomless hole for those, so I'm sure you.
Yeah. No, that's terrific. That's great.
Thank you, Clay.
Yes, indeed.
I appreciate it, Clay. You are also a genius.
Hey, Clay, as you're watching, we got to talk about Miles to Go. I thought I sent you a text. Maybe you've changed your phone number since to avoid contact from people like myself. So I will have to direct message you and make sure that we make that happen sooner than later. Because he's got a new Aftershock book that certainly deserves some conversation. Absolutely. So, Freddie, I'll let you go. I understand. I'll get back to your evening with Crystal. All the best to both of you. And truly, let's talk King Kirby.
Yes.
When that
at the end of this month, absolutely.
Okay, great. So in a couple weeks, so let's get the three. Yeah. And I don't know if you're able to send me a chance to hear it or whatever before we talk, unless we talk after it's already dropped, and I'll listen to it. What platform will it be on?
All of them. It'll be on iTunes, it'll be on Spotify.
Oh, you're selling it. Are you selling it as a?
No, it'll be free.
That's awesome.
So it's right now it's scheduled to drop. I want to say the 29th, maybe the 30th. Taskmaster definitely has the Udon costume. God bless it. Great. John, let's circle back in 3 weeks.
That'd be great. That would be great, man. No, I really look forward to hearing it. I was excited when you guys put it on at the Brick Festival of live theater in Brooklyn years ago. And yeah,
And
I
this is
think
the original cast in the audio drama.
wow, that's fantastic. So yeah, everybody, King Kirby, the audio drama,
Jack Kirby.
coming in 3 weeks to all platforms, and we'll have a new conversation with Fred and Crystal Skillman to talk about that. And yeah, I really look forward to hearing it because I know the story's in good hands. So that'll be fun to check out. Very cool.
Thanks, Sean. This is good. I will tally up your totals, but they're impressive.
All right, fair enough.
Well done, League. You really
yes.
Came through for John on this one.
Yeah, you bailed me out, everybody. I appreciate that.
It was awesome, but this was terrific, and I now have to set my gray matter towards coming up with Game 4.
That's awesome, Fred, and we'll try and work up some sort of video intro for when we do.
Maybe I'll show up with some theme music.
There you go. Yeah, we'll but again, we got to watch the copyrights and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're very everybody's litigious these days. So
the Who, do they care about their copyrights? I'm not sure.
The Who,
Rock,
I think so. All right, dude. Well done. Thank you very much, Fred Van Lente, everybody. Looking forward to talking to him in a couple. I'm sorry, Fred, I didn't mean to cut you off, but looking forward to talking to him in a couple of weeks about King Kirby, a great drama that he and Crystal Skillman, his lovely wife, have written. Crystal is an incredible playwright, and it's funny. Fred is actually not even backstage anymore, and I'm happy to say that she is so ridiculously talented. And I have several friends in New York that are in the theater business as playwrights and actors, and they were like, "You know Crystal Skillman?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Again, no diminishing of Crystal. She is really impressive. And as I'm sure we'll talk about in 3 weeks, she had a play, I can't remember the name of it right now, but they had a production in Chicago, and it required a radio DJ. And she's like, "Would you be the radio DJ?" And I'm like, "Oh man, that's awesome." I was a high school theater guy. I was in a lot of plays, and it was such a thrill, even in a small way, to be part of a live stage production like that. And I was over the moon. And truly, that's why I brought it up at the beginning of the show, telling Fred, "Hey man, if she's ever writing more like audio drama," because I know right now, poor live theater. That's another reason why I'm really excited to talk to Crystal, because she is such a successful playwright, not only off Broadway, but in regional theater as well. A lot of people do productions of her plays all around the country and in Canada as well. King Kirby was, in fact, in Canada. So here's another creative that is affected by COVID, and how are they adapting? So you heard earlier that Fred said that she's also teaching a TV writing class. Truly, honestly, I am really thrilled that these two writers who are married are friends of mine, and it's always interesting to catch up with both of them and see what they're doing. So that's going to be fun in a couple of weeks. Look forward to that Word Balloon Live coming soon. Thanks for watching. Another fun trivia night. Thanks a lot for playing along. And as always, stay safe,